Ah, that's better. That is better. And in theory, I've got voice. In theory, I've got voice. And this is the map of Waterloo. The game we are playing tonight is War Master Ken Russell. Ken Russell? It's not Ken Russell. Ken Wright's Waterloo. Get my hat. That's a bit better. Waterloo. And we are playing the role of Napoleon. Let's get things loaded. While we wait. So, the map is not with north at the top, and north is on the right hand side. So the French are on the left, heading north towards Waterloo. The aim of the game, the French have to get sufficient forces up to Waterloo in the hope the Belgian people will rise up to join them, because a lot of the Belgians spoke French, weren't that keen on the House of Orange. The Duke of Wellington is playing our opponent. He is along the ridge, and he's occupied the two sort of square things, which are Hougomont and La Haye-Sainte. And he's up there, and at some point, Blücher and his Prussians will be approaching from the east, which on the map is on the bottom. We are on the left. We are now loading. I'm now going to get rid of the map. So, Battle of Waterloo, 18th of June, 1815, MC Lothlorien, 1985. So the Waterloo campaign started in earnest on the 16th of June with two battles at the same time. Battle of Quatre Bras, which was the crossroads where the Prince of Orange did quite well before having to be forced to retreat. And further east, the Battle of Ligny, where the Prussians were defeated by the French. The Prussians retreated, the French pursued. The French were hoping the Prussians would retreat east. They did not. They went north-east and then turned north, in the hope of further joining up with the Duke of Wellington. They had been pursued by Marshal Grouchy. Marshal Grouchy is pursuing the Prussians, whereas Napoleon and the rest of his men marched north. The evening of the 16th was very wet, so the roads were very, very bad roads. So marching was slow, and the 17th had bad weather as well, so much so that Napoleon had to hold off his attack until either, I think it was late morning or even lunchtime, because the ground was too wet for the cannonballs. It was a very unseasonable rainfall. Why does this hat not quite work? Let's sort this hat out, folks, while we're waiting. It's a good hat. This is my proper Napoleon outfit, you see. Oh, left, right. Well, I've got a strange... It doesn't have, I've got a strange head and the camera's at a strange angle. That's... There we are. That's my full Napoleon outfit, of course. Including the fake boots. I wore this to the cinema to see the film with Joaquin Phoenix, and thoroughly enjoyed the film. I did take the hat off though. I did take the hat off. Excuse me. Oh, piece of hair. Now, there was something I was looking for. File. There was a thing about tools. Haha, excellent. Captioning is enabled. So there should be captioning. Hello! Good evening, sir. Or as we would say in Italy, buonasera. Although, of course, at this point, the King of Naples has probably already been shot or under arrest, because he changed sides. Marshal Murat. So this is Waterloo for the ZX Spectrum. Came out in 1985. We are playing as Napoleon. I've got the fake boots on. I've got the hat. I've got the full coat with the tail. And most importantly, I've got air conditioning. Because I've played this game before in this outfit and got heat stroke. This is before air conditioning though. It was just a very, very hot day in the sun. Here we are. The game has started. Enter the game level. And we have a choice of the game level. The choices are... It does say what they are. Oh, hang on. Up, down, left, right. So number 1 is learners. Number 2 is the standard game. And number 3 is a challenge for the proficient. Oh, absolutely. We've got to have air conditioning. So I'm going to go for the standard game, which is number 2. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear the game. So this is the map. The blue pieces are, of course, the French. The yellow pieces are, somewhat confusingly, the British, or the Anglo-Dutch, if you prefer. So we can install the map. There's Waterloo. That's not Waterloo. So we've the units are marked, grouped into corps. You've got number 2, with number 2 corps, some of which is corps commander. You've got number 6 corps. I believe the cross swords are cavalry. You've got the 3rd corps, the 1st corps, and then I think that's all the corps we've got. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th. I believe the 5th corps is off with Marshal Grouchy, and there's the British there. Obviously, there's various things going on. There's the Prussians are already arriving at the bottom. So we can do that. Move on to army orders. So we can look at the terrain. See this chap here. Oh, that's good. Excellent. This chap here is in a little chateau, so he's going to be very hard to winkle out. And there's another chateau. So I think is no. That's a ridge. That's a ridge. That's a ridge. And that's not a ridge. There's the number 2 chap's in a chateau. There's another chateau there. So we don't want to mess with the chateau. So what you're going to do instead is give some orders. And you give orders at the corps level. By pressing... Oh, hang on. At the corps level, you can either give orders to individual units or to the whole corps. I'm going to go for the whole corps to start with. During the Battle of Gettysburg, General Lee gave orders to some individual units while the corps commander was there, and the corps commander got rather upset because you don't do that. You give orders through the chain of command. So order to the corps. I want you to move, and I want the 2nd corps to move up to the British flank and hold for the moment. We've also got the 6th corps, who again, I want them to move to this position and hold. And also the cavalry corps, with these guys, I want you to move all the way up here to really threaten their flank and hold. Now, we've got some issues. Yeah, because it's nice you can actually do things. You can give up more orders if you really, really want to. Except the more orders you give, the less historical it becomes. I'm now going to order this 4th corps to move, to hold the middle of my line. And I think this will do for now. And then we can move the map around some more. Say, look, we're now going to move. So do you want me to move as ordered? Or otherwise I will engage the enemy. Well, yeah, I want you to move as ordered. Yes. Do move as ordered. Do not engage the enemy. Because the enemy are in the chateau. You think, why aren't I attacking? Because I don't want you to attack. I'm Napoleon. I'm very good at war. The game notes you can capture the chateau. However, it'll take a long time. You'll take a lot of casualties. So much so you probably won't win. There should be, what's the word, captions available as well. Yes. So obviously, order number. I've not ordered sorry, Alessandra. I've not ordered Corps 1 to attack, but they're attacking anyway. So I need to maybe call them back. There's a later game called Wellington at Waterloo where you play as the Anglo-British, the Anglo-Dutch. But I don't want to be messing with those chateaux. That's where Sharp lives. I doubt there's any noise. There might be a little bit of noise, but not a lot of noise. So obviously cavalry move a bit faster. some of them do. Yes, they can take initiative, and you can have to rein them in. And the same, the British take initiative too, which is rather interesting. So you've already taken losses because that's why I did not order you to attack. He's taken heavy losses attacking the chateau. That guy there just went on a death and glory attack against all the entire British line, took heavy losses. This guy's taken light losses, and so have the British on that flank. Rather more heavy fighting towards the west. The map is tilted. North is on the right hand side. So that's the British sending their cavalry over to their flank. And the Prussians are advancing. So the game notes the Prussians arrive early to give them more of a chance to do things. But also because there's a lot of bad terrain in between, they'll have to struggle to get there. We can have some Commodore 64 music. Yes, this is the Commodore 64 music. I've been working for several years on a type-in game on the Battle of Waterloo. Although the type-in I'm talking about is on the Waterloo campaign as a whole, rather than the actual battle. And I've added music to it. I've added 3 French tunes, a Prussian tune, a British tune, and a Dutch tune. So I think this is a French one. And what I was interested in was Napoleon did not like La Marseillaise. He was not a fan of the Marseillaise. So this is the map. We're going to hook around the side. Yeah, he didn't object to them playing it. He said, just don't play it while I'm here, please. So this cavalry is very, very good. Yes, it's an interesting little fact. I want you to advance up to here. Now, because that U has now appeared, means this unit is given very deliberate control. Right, down here we have some problems with these guys. I want you to move back here and hold. Please don't faff about. Now, that's tempting, but that's a castle. We don't want to go for the castle. We do want, though, these guys to engage the enemy, which means attack. But these guys want you to again engage the enemy. And on the 4th Corps order to move up here and hold. And finally, our cavalry, I'm going to move them down here, just to keep the British honest. So you can't trust the British, Alessandra. And now he wants to attack. Do as you're told, General D'Erlon. So, the generals have intelligence. You just have to remember, you can't. The orders aren't too complicated. I think you can ask where they are. So here, General Ray is saying, look, if I engage, I'm going to take severe losses. Is that all right? The answer is, yeah, I don't want you to take severe losses. But I do want you to move. And then do not have severe losses, because you don't want to take severe losses. What you want to do is, good evening. Yeah, I've not been on all year. I intended to various occasions, and then just didn't for various reasons. I thought Waterloo. We got a few. In theory, we got 3 streams in a row over the next couple of weeks. Tonight we got Waterloo. Next week, Battle of the Little Bighorn. Week after that, Gettysburg. Hopefully a bit of variety. Oh, it doesn't. There's a board game called 60-Second Waterloo. So the chap in question made a series of board games that basically are really quick, but have a lot of the decisions you have to make, but are really simple. So 1 minute Waterloo is you decide where are you going to attack, and it is Napoleon joining you. You then see where the Prussians show up, and then that's it. There's a battle, and who wins. So it's really quick. You do the same for Waterloo, Little Bighorn, and the Bulge, sort of thing. Really, but it's like, yeah, you can play a quick board game. Hello, good Pope Griffon. I haven't got an Abel one. I did do it homage to Gloria Gaynor last year. So the blue are the French, the yellow are the baddies, the 7th Coalition, who are the Prussians, the British, and the Dutch, and bits of Germans, other Germans, like the King's German Legion sort of thing. So what I'm trying to do as Napoleon is go around the western flank of the coalition. The cross swords represent cavalry, the rifles represent infantry, artillery is just generally part of the unit. The letter C indicates a corps commander. P are the Prussians, under Blücher. The number 2 British unit is currently in La Haye-Sainte, or Hougoumont, so we don't want to be fighting him, because he takes a lot of casualties to attack him. P for Prussians, you see? So we're taking quite a lot of casualties, which is a bad thing. Oh, we made the British retreat though, which is a good thing. As Patton says, no one ever won a war by dying for it. No son of a bitch ever won a war by dying for his country. You win a war by making the other son of a bitch die for his country. So we're going to scroll the map. The Prussians are advancing. This is a bad thing. But round here, yeah, makes sense. Right, you've got to kill the enemy, not die yourself. Let's give some orders. You move. They won't engage if you're next to somebody. And keep going if you can. So these are my cavalry. I want this 2nd corps. Order you to move. And hold. Because you have other options, such as full command, which basically go and have a look, but don't attack too much. Where's everyone gone? Right, here we are. So the 4th corps, again, order you, move up here. But I absolutely want you not to be attacking the British. That's a bad thing. You can to a certain extent, however, there is a issue of corps integrity, which I should explain. Order, move, left a bit. So there is a corps integrity. Yes, a corps has a base position. So if you split units up too much, the units will move back towards their headquarters. So they're too far away. So they'll gradually go, no, I need to be a bit closer together. So you can do it a little bit. It's about 2 units apart. Here we are. So where are we now? So I think that's all our movements. Oh. We can give details though. So for example, this chap, 3,000 very good men. This chap, 1,500 fair. Very good. I think number 6 might be the guard. But down here, though, we are taking some casualties. So I think I'm going to go with movement. Yes, do as you're told, General Ray. See, Marshal Ney wants to attack. And I'm saying, don't do that, Marshal Ney. You are Ginger. You must retreat. And again, Kellerman, I want you to attack. Do what I'm telling you. So I'm Napoleon. Do what I tell you. So in that case, do not engage the enemy. Because you can't order them to attack, do massive attacks. I always say, you know, is that all right? Are you sure, mate? You know, you can say, yes, I am Napoleon. Oh, Chambossy, petit falou. Ooh, dead on. Or you can say, oh yeah, that's a fair point, that, mate. I didn't realise you were, you know, like the Light Brigade. Are you sure we want to hit those cannons? Those cannons there, sort of thing. You can say, oh, actually, yeah, fair point. Didn't think of that. So the game ends when the British get either too far to the left or the French get too far to the right. However, just because the game ends doesn't mean you've won. It then goes to who's won. Because if, you know, yeah, you see. When I was in Paris, they thought I was Italian, you see. That's how good my French is. So I know there were 3 songs I did. One was called the Chant du Départ. And I found that the Prussian national anthem at the time was exactly the same as God Save the King. And I don't like God Save the King. I find it boring. And then I did some research. Apparently God Save the King was the first ever proper national anthem. And the idea was every country had the same tune with different words. And then they realised, oh, that's a bit stupid. Oh dear. So we've lost part of our cavalry. So this music was done on the SID chip with interrupts. So it's just basically, while you're playing the game, it's interrupts based on the raster beam or something or other. So the British are advancing, which is a good thing, because then I can counter-attack when they're not sitting on top of ridges. You see. Because hopefully I can lure them forward, because he's abandoned the chateau. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's... Thank you, this is my actual fancy dress costume I had for it. They've abandoned the chateau, which is a good thing, because maybe we can attack and capture the chateau now, because they think we're retreating. But Napoleon has tricked them. Because Wellington thinks we're on the run, but we're not on the run, Mr. Wellington. If he thinks old France is done, we're not done. I've also given my wife the Ladybird Book of Napoleon to read when she gets home from the gym. Because she doesn't know much about Napoleon, and she needs to. She's scared of Nelson, though, which is appropriate. So if a unit fights twice, they fight less effectively. I think the British are taking a fair amount of casualties. But then so are we. It's a battle. Oh, hello, Tall Dave. It's very kind of you. It's very kind of you to give the old Prime subscription. We are the French, as you might imagine. And how's it all going? So we are trying to scoot around the flank of the British. And we've lured them into an early attack in the middle, which is part of my master plan, because I'm now going to counter-attack and attack them, because I'm very clever. Or try to be clever anyway. So I'm charging my 2nd corps. I'm now turning to attack the British flank. The 4th corps, I'm going to do the same sort of thing. The Fifth corps, I want you to hold. Hold your position, lads. Hold, hold. So you give orders to troops. I can move them. I can full command. I can hold them, engage, withdraw, or retreat. I want you to hold for now. It's a good tune. Now the third corps. So this chap here, this British chap here, he was originally in the chateau, but he's charged forward. This is I'm gonna make him pay for that. And this corps here, I want you to hold. But you, I want you to go up here. And then do you recognise this tune? Marshal Ney, attack! This is Over the Hills and Far Away, which first came about in, I think, the War of the Spanish Succession. But it's also the theme tune to the end credits to Sharp, Sharp, Chosen Man. Ah yes, attack! That looks a bit more menacing to the French now, doesn't it? So we're scooping around their flanks. You see, he's already bottling it. And routed. Bosh. Heavy casualties there from that bloke, which is the bad thing. But that chap there, second, oh, he's also gone. There's now a great big hole in the British line. It's not looking good for them, is it? It's not looking good. British movement. What are you going to do now, Nosy? So he's retreating. Oh no, he's attacking in the middle. He's been very brave. He's got some cavalry in the middle. That'll be the... I went to an online lecture the other week about the heavy cavalry at Waterloo. And that's very interesting. The Prussians are fanning out to the east. I'll deal with them later. I defeated the Prussians before. But even though at one point one of the heavy cavalry units was very badly run down with the troops, and basically didn't do much, but they stood there getting shot at. So what they do is they said, no, we can't retreat, because if we pull back to avoid getting shelled, all the like the Dutch troops would automatically retreat. It's like, yeah, we're going to stand here and keep an eye on everybody, so everyone else holds the line. You see. So we're taking some losses. This one might be a Dutch one, Alessandro. Oh, we've lost some units. Oh, and we've lost some more units here. That's not so good. So let's look at the map. So on the right-hand side, we've got Waterloo. If we get enough troops over there, we win. Sorry, enough troops over there is the end of the game. I mean, may or may not win. But we have to make sure that the Allies don't get too many troops over to this side of the map. But we've got options here for the flank, which is good. So I'm going to give some orders, please. To the second corps, I want you just to move onto this ridge and hold, guarding my flank, please. Fourth corps, I want you to move here. Hello, sir. How are things? This is good. I'm in my room with air conditioning, dressed as Napoleon. in full Napoleon outfit. And so far, we've chased off some of the British, who are the baddies in this game, and we've lured them forward out of their chateau. And we are now counter-attacking, trying to hook around their flank. Because I'm a master tactician. This is Ken Wright's Waterloo, 1985. They don't like it, Upham. They don't like it, Upham. So this guy, let's charge down here for a laugh. This will be fun. So there are big holes in the British lines. So you can give orders to a corps, which are everybody sharing the same number. Or you can give orders to individual units within a corps, which is less historical, but you can still just about get away with it. This is called a unit order. So the cavalry are going all the way up here, please. So this flank's not doing so well. So I need you to move into the town and hold. Hold. Right. And then we go, okay then. So here we've got Waterloo on the right. In the middle, the chateaux of Hougoumont and La Haye-Sainte are empty. So I'm going to say, make your moves. And General Durlon wants to attack. I want him to, I want you, look. These generals, they're getting ideas above their station. Now, I did tell them, in every soldier's knapsack you can find a marshal's baton, but you, General Ray, are not a marshal. Do what I tell you. Now, you, Marshal Ney, are a marshal. You are a marshal. Yeah, go on, Marshal Ney. You're always good for a laugh. Yeah, but you, do what I tell you. Yeah, everyone else, do what I tell you. So Marshal Kellerman was bitten by a radioactive cellar in Germany, and that now has all the powers of a German beer cellar. Now, sometimes your generals will tell you, if I do this attack, I'll take heavy losses. Are you sure? And you can say, yeah, no, everyone has to die. I'm Napoleon. Or you can say, oh yeah, don't bother doing that. So surrounding them is a good thing. Indeed! I like that, son of a bitch. Very good, very good. One of the issues behind the long-delayed Commodore 64 version of this campaign is I have to dress up as all the generals. It obviously includes Kellerman being basically Spider-Man. Marshal Ney obviously being Dennis Waterman, because he's ginger. That's how it works. The good news is I have done some of the British generals. I've done General Hill. He's easy. Lord Uxbridge will cast some, I think, some special effects work, of course, be historically accurate. So we're currently rolling up the British flanks. And they're taking losses. However, so are we. Heavy losses for the cavalry. And heavy losses for number 6. Come in, number 6, your time is up. So green is flat land, red is the woods, the black speckly bits are towns, the square things are chateau. Yes, they are. So it only reports in units of 500. No, just in 500 men, 1,000 men, 1,500 men. So you won't tell you about losses less than 500 men. So the Prussians are the letter P. P for Prussians. So the British flank is reforming, which is annoying me. My master plan was quite good until all my men started dying. It's very poor form. They are, you know. Prussians should go back to Prussia. And here comes number 4. So I already defeated the Prussians at Ligny and they come back for war. So that's I've taken 1,000 losses. I'm losing more units, which is bad. He took 1,500 losses there in that battle. Exactly. So that's light losses both sides. Here, that's fairly heavy, and that unit's vanished. This is a bad thing for France. This is on level 2, which is a normal level, not beginners, but also not super. It's not sharp mode, because level 3 basically makes all the British units sharp, which is historically accurate. Les chevaux, at least they can eat the horses. So this is not doing so good. So our right flank has basically vanished, but the middle's doing okay. So I want you to engage the enemy. Hello, Steve. You've missed a big charge from who's that chap called? Marshal Ney. And a big attack on the flank. I'll show you the map in a sec. Let's order. Let's attack. There we are. Because you don't win a war. It is a bloodbath, you know. Because here's the map anyway. We are the French. We are trying to get to Waterloo. The British, who are Anglo-Dutch 1, 2, 3, 4, are trying to stop us, and so is the letter P. We've taken a lot of casualties. A lot of casualties. Which is a bad thing. So he's warned, if I attack, I'm going to take lots of casualties. So at this stage, I think, yeah, I don't want to lose any more casualties, please. Marshal Ney's going, yeah, no, yeah, that's a fair point. He knows what he's doing. How the other lads are fine with that. So the 4th Corps wandering over there somewhere. The 1st Corps taking light casualties against the Prussians, but it also inflicted light casualties, so it's not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty light, but they've driven us back a little bit. Indeed, we are taking a lot of deaths, though. Oh, that's good. That's good. We've made the British cavalry retreat and rout. This is a good thing. It's not very visceral, is it? Yeah. Be fair, this was 1985. It took a long time to get like Napoleon Total War, which is that you can zoom. That's the level. Oh yeah, you can zoom into individual fighting, which is quite cool to be fair. So Wellington's doing quite well. The bastard. Christopher Plummer with The Sound of Music. Yeah, exactly, because another one was the ancestor of this game is a game called The General. And The General is a more generic Napoleonic type battle, except it's general's eye view. So you're a general at the end of a valley, and the enemy, who are blue, therefore the French, they're invading, and you've got to stop them. And you give orders to your troops, but you have to give orders individually, and then you watch with your telescope as they give the orders, and you're watching it through your telescope from a distance. It looks like I'm wanking into my eye. But it's rather effective, and it was written in BASIC, but works really well. I then fixed a bug, because... Yes. I do remember that. It had Angela Rippon, I think, was presenting it. Or certainly one of them had on there. Also, the Angela Rippon one was Time Command. That was earlier. Yeah, it was really good. They basically had to... They couldn't call it that. It was basically... Yeah, it was really cool. Time Commanders, I think it was called. Before what we had before that was called Game of War with Angela, and that was much more blocks, cardboard blocks on a table. Whereas Time Commanders was, oh look, we're zooming in and seeing the army doing stuff. Yeah, that was really cool. That was, and then later on you had who was it? Craig Charles was presenting it, I believe. So remember, the blue are the French, and the French are retreating, which is a bad thing. We are not going to have any equality, fraternity, or liberty. So my big plan originally, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Excuse me one moment, folks. Doopy doopy doo. Because I do not want to have the best, whatever the hell that is, viewers on something crap. Thank you. Where's the chat gone? Log in. Right. Bear with me, folks. Because we're not having smut in here. Smut that's not caused by me. So I do smut, it's brilliant. Here we are. I know. Because I've not been on Twitch for about 6 months. Right, here we are. Here we go. Bear with me, folks. Yeah, doopy doo. Here we go. Right, hang on. Ban hammer coming. Here we go. Right. I want you to... Oh, no. Ban! There we are. Off we go. Sorry about that. Indeed. If you're not smart, you're not things done properly. So my big plan was to go around the flank of the British and outflank them all. Unfortunately, it's not done that brilliantly because most of my middle has collapsed, which is a bad thing. So I'm going to try and recover somehow by giving some all. See, also the 4th Corps is all over the place, and they're going to try and get back together. So this is problematic, shall we say? This is problems. But I'll take you in the flank, as it were. I know exactly what you mean. Now you order, move to here and hold. Now, Mr. Cavalry, if there's 2,500 cavalry, you. Yes. Order. Charge into the flank. Yep, thank you. Now you lads, there's only 500 of these men left. So I want you to move out of the way. And hold. And you lads, again, you're in very good position. I want you to move. Move. Johnny French tubes. And hold. And I think everyone else is dead. The British have abandoned Hougoumont and La Haye-Sainte because unfortunately they're killing everyone else. So this is not so good. Yeah, do what? General Durlock, you got 500 men. To be fair to Durlock, he's being brave, but you got 500 men. You're not engaging anybody. General Ray, do what you're told. Marshal Ney. Yeah. We've got the guards, some cavalry. Oh yeah, absolutely. I had a chance, and it's not done very well. So here's my big cavalry. Hopefully my cavalry will charge into the British flank. Ooh, that sounds familiar, Mr. Ashen, sir. Yes, that was a 1986 game. That was. I saw a film at the cinema the other night called Tornado about samurai in Scotland in 1790. And they never explained why they were there. It was a good film, though. It was like a western. And that a guy there is basically Black Lee Van Cleef. It was very good, but yeah. Entertaining. Tomorrow I'm going to see... Oh, that new 28 later. Yeah, it was a good premise. They had a puppet show that was brilliant. A really varnant puppet show. So we are taking very heavy casualties. Here come the British, who are yellow, which is the wrong colour for the British. We've now, I think we have refused our centre and our right. So if too many troops get to the left-hand side, it's the end of the game. because they cut off our retreat to France, where the French people live, being French, eating croissants and that. They're not feeling it now. I should put the hello music on instead. That'd inspire them. Because I think my third core is to put it finally, fucked. Because he's surrounded by 4 British units. Yeah, he's gone. I'd watch that, to be fair. It was a good film. It was really well made, and you could feel the cold. It just didn't make a lot. It was like, well, how did that work then? How's that work then? Because Japan in the 1790s, you weren't allowed in and you weren't allowed out unless you were Dutch. And if you were Dutch, you were allowed onto a very small island the size of a car park, and you weren't allowed off on pain of death. So, I don't think we did very well here. It must have been, Erasmus. So we had 15,000 dead, 20,000 wounded. That was not so good. So, we can continue the game. We're not going to do that. We are, though, going to reload the game. But first of all, though, I'm going to stop the RZX recording and finalise. Yes, the Dutch are very polite. And what I'm going to do now is rewind the tape, if I can find the tape. Load everything. Right, stop the tape. We're going to try it again, and this time hopefully be a bit less rubbish. Right. Again, we're doing difficulty level 2, which is 2 is normal. So we're not going to cheat. Cheating would be going for difficulty level 1, learner. But what I want to do is make sure that... Here's the map. MC Lothlomio, is it? Right. Army orders. So we do not want to attack this guy, who has got 4,500 men in a castle or a farm. Same with this guy. We don't want to attack those guys. Attacking those guys is a bad idea. What we are going to do instead is tell this guy to move backwards to here and hold. Do not attack. The third corps, I want you to move to here and hold. Do not attack. Now, last time I tried my flank, which wasn't working bad. I think I went a bit early though. So this time I send the second corps up here and hold. I want all the cavalry up here and hold. I want the 6th Corps, which is the guard, to move somewhere. Oh, to move here and hold. I want the 4th to move up here and hold. Exactly, yeah, because if you don't give orders, they get a bit excitable. And go, oh, there's an enemy in front of me, I'll attack him. And what I don't want is to attack blokes in a castle or a fortified fort, because they'll take heavy losses. If you take heavy losses... See, General Durland wants to attack. General Durland, do not attack. General Ray, do not attack. Marshal Ney, do not attack. Boff! So hopefully you guys will pull back a little bit. The massive millipede is a ridge. It's obviously high ground going up. So ridges have an effect on combat. The effect on combat for a ridge is not for ridge racer, it's high ground. You know what it is? Does it say what it does? So it is a bonus to the defender, and it costs more to the move across it. Oh, I've lost my chatters again. They can try. So we're going to keep the British in the centre and then go around the side. Yeah, I went to a museum in Amsterdam. They had a model of Takashima Island from Nagasaki, and it's like it's not very big. Here's an island, got a few buildings on it. Yeah, exactly. Because you think blokes behind a wall with a bit of gun, bang, you're dead. Oh, okay. Although the British cavalry did a big charge and managed to save one of the farmhouses. Also, they just stopped them knocking one of them down. They were going to knock one of these places, either Haysont or Ugamor down, and they said, "What are you doing? Don't be stupid. It's important. You idiots." Just like at Colditz, they were going to fill in some of the tunnels with concrete. And so I said, "Why would you fill in the tunnels? They're historically interesting tunnels." More is what we fill it in a bit. So here, the second have decided to attack a bit because they're quite keen. Because move is a funny order. Because with moving you may decide to move and attack because of enemies nearby. Even though I didn't want him to attack. He's ruining my master plan. So this is the first of a few streams I've got scheduled, in my head at least. There's the Prussians, the letter P for Prussians. Next Wednesday is the Battle of the Little Bighorn. And the week after that is the Battle of Gettysburg. Little Bighorn, though, won't be on the Spectrum. It'll be on it's a DOS game. Let's just see if I get it working. So it looks intriguing. I am working on a video about the Battle of the Little Bighorn. I'm currently on version 102 of the code. It is taking a while, but I'm enjoying doing it, which is what matters at the end of the day. So the British are doing a big push on their flank. Both flanks. Which is a bad thing. So the cross swords represent cavalry. Rifles represent infantry, and that's about it, really. So I take a fair amount of casualties on that flank. Which is a bad thing. However, we made that British unit retreat. We didn't intend to attack him, but he attacked him anyway. And we got a chance now of actually capturing the little castle, which would be nice. Actually, what we should do is make that priority is capture the little castle. Because that gives us a big advantage. Order. I want you to move into the castle and hold. I think they're all the same type of infantry. However, they do have. So if I show you details, this is infantry, 4,500 men, very good. These are very good, but a bit wounded. These are very good, but very, very wounded. The swords are cavalry, 3,000 very good, 3,500 very good, 3,500 very good. Let's order these guys to move up here and hold. Now, go to the other guys are the details. So all we get is their morale, and these guys are fair now, or poor, because they've been in a bit of the old battles, you see. So what I want to do now is order these guys to move to here and hold. Please don't engage. So further to this is the east. What I would like to do is to hold this ridge line. Because my guys here are in pretty good shape. By holding a ridge line, we get a defensive bonus. And because we're at a core level, you don't get flanking as such. But if you're attacked by too many enemies, you do suffer from extra damage. Marshal Ney, please occupy the chateau, which is very important. tell you which one it is. It does say on the map. I think that is La Haye Sainte. We've now just occupied. So all the numbers are represent the corps, the different corps. So that's obviously the third corps moving up. Here's the cavalry corps. The first corps. That's better. Nice line there. Fourth corps moving up. The sixth corps got a bit split up, but we'll sort them out. Because that guy at the bottom will be moving towards the other guys in number 6. So the second corps has been a bit aggressive. I want them to wait a little bit. Because you can have the option of giving them orders down to the individual unit level, which is less historical. But it can be done. The game has the option, and basically by being more historical, you're being a bit more historically accurate, but also makes the game a little bit harder. This is level 2, the standard level. Level 1 is for learners. Level 3 is basically you're fighting sharp. Yeah, it takes a while to get your eye in, you see. So the British take 500 casualties. The French take 500 casualties. The British take 500 casualties. The French retreat. Because they had 1,000 men and they were in poor shape. And they've just disintegrated now. However, we've got a little castle. So the British First Corps are advancing against my cavalry. It's a nice little tune. The tune is in on the Commodore 64. By me! The Prussians are slowly advancing. It takes them a while to get there. There's no time limit on the game. Apart from the game ends with either everyone's dead or to get too many units above a certain amount on the left or the right of the screen. Also, to be fair, it's June, so it doesn't get dark till 10 o'clock. So you have got all day. Letter P for Prussians, not Panzers. So the British are retreating in the centre with heavy casualties. Our cavalry took a lot of casualties there. Ney took some casualties in his little chateau. The second corps is not very happy. And they have vanished. Le Garde recule! The Guard are retreating, which is a bad thing. It would have been, yes, British Panzers. But of course, because Britain, we had the Industrial Revolution, you see. Oh, we've lost Marshal Ney and we've lost our little chateau. But we have forced the retreat of British cavalry. Here's the weird. That's what we had steam engines. We did have steam engines. Not used for transport. We definitely had steam engines for basically pumping things. Right. We've got some issues. So we definitely want the chateau. However, you move into the chateau and hold, please. Right. We are going to sort this out, folks, because we are Napoleon. And we are the best. You move here. Right, that's the fourth corps. Right. Fourth corps. Order. Exactly. British coal for British lungs. You move, advance to here. Right, and hold. Now, cavalry, want you, order. Wait. Order. Move to here and hold. I think that's everybody. Oh, apart from these guys. Now, we can look at the terrain. He's on a ridge, that's good. You're on a ridge, that's good. You're on a ridge, that's good. So I want you guys to hold your position, please. So order. Yeah, exactly. No commuting. Hold. Right. And let's see. What, you? Do what I tell you. Do what I tell you. Do what I tell you. Mooten dressed as lamb. That was a good joke from earlier. Do what I tell you. Because they do have not quite minds of their own, but they're trying. And you can say, no, you know, do you want me to attack? No. Because I want to drive that British bloke there and try and sweep up the British flank. More importantly, I want Ney to move into the little chateau. I think Napoleon's goldsmith moved to Norwich. If you've got local news, there's a blue plaque by the tobacconist near the Guild Hall in Norwich Market Square. Local knowledge. So that British cavalry is retreating, with 1,000 men dead. They're the rifles, or whoever they are. They're retreating. Oh, well, we're retreating though. Boff. Anna's routed. Ney has lost the castle again. The big twat. With heavy losses. But to be fair, he was holding against 3 British units, so he was greatly outnumbered. Our cavalry is retreating, which is obviously a bit shit. With heavy losses. I was hoping the British would just die, but they're not refusing to die. Which is very poor form. Because I let them have the sea, but no, they want the land as well. That's just not fair. Oh, good, excellent. His retreaties are there. Heavy casualties, and he'll take more next turn. Exactly. You did the same. You did the same thing to us at Blenheim. That's nowhere near Britain. You defeated us. You and your Marlborough man. Ugh. I think one thing you don't get in this game is how are we doing so far? No worries, Alessandro. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Have an Aperol Spritz, perhaps. Well, I do recommend them. They're rather nice. I've not had one yet. I could have murdered one yesterday. Oh yes. Hopefully we'll do slightly better this time. We'll at least die less quickly. It's a lovely sunny evening. I've got the blinds shut because I think it's very, very hot. I think this is a French tune. Can't remember which one it is. We've got 3 French tunes, a British tune, which you'll recognise. Yeah, they are lurking up. I think we'll be a bit more cautious, I think. So you've got 3 French tunes, the RCAs, a Prussian tune, a British tune, and a Dutch tune. So our number 1 corps is along a ridge, which gives us a defensive bonus. We're doing a bit better in the centre. So the hope if we get to Brussels, the Belgian people will rise up. Oh, we've lost the ridge and now retreating into the Prussians. That's not going to be good. However, the British centre has vanished. This is a good thing. This is looking a lot better. No, the second corps is still looking not bad. So at you, order. Move. Up onto the ridge. And hold. The cavalry corps, order. Just engage generally, please. The 6th corps, you to order, move. Down here, oh, down here please. And the 4th corps, please advance. Let's go for move. Because we've got the British on the run, I think. But down here, we've got some issues. We're not in bad shape, but I want you to retreat a little bit. Withdraw, please. Up to here. Because we're outnumbered and outgunned. Let's see how we're doing. It'd be nice if we had a clock. A clock would be nice. You get an idea of how the battle's going. Is it 3 o'clock? It's 4 o'clock. Because at some point, you know, the French captured one of these little castle fort farm things, but quite late in the day. But then, if they had to manage it at 3 o'clock, they could have then rolled their guns up and shelled Wellington. Because they actually captured it like 7 o'clock, it was already too late. So we're hoping there to overwhelm the enemy. Somehow. I'm not quite sure what the 6th Corps is doing with their march. They're certainly being a bit vigorous. So, decent British losses. We've killed 2,000 British there from the 2nd Corps. We've driven back the British 2nd Corps from the little castle with heavy casualties. Chap in the middle, heavy casualties. Oof. He's not. That's going to hurt come winter. So the British 2nd Corps are recovering. It's the end music to Sharp. Over the hills and far away. But the Prussians are coming. And they love the letter P to the Prussians. So our 1st Corps on the right flank are rather surrounded. So they're taking a delaying action because they're about to get absolutely swamped by soldiers in the wrong colour blue. Oh, that's good. We like this. They do not like it up in one-man conga. Our first battle, we got absolutely slaughtered. We lost like 35,000 men dead and wounded, as opposed to like 15,000 the British side. This is doing a lot better, although my right flank is disintegrating. But the British centre has vanished, which is pretty good. Oof. There are a lot of widows in France, sadly. However, there'll be saucy widows, you know, like you get in those Confessions movies. Confessions of a Grognard, starring Robbie Nesquith, perhaps. So here, it's looking good. There's Waterloo. The road is pretty much open to Waterloo now. So I'm going to suggest... Exactly. Right. Let's not fanny about, folks. Let's give some orders to the army. So I want you, order, move, up to this ridge, and hold. 2nd Corps, I want you to hold where you are. Cavalry, order, move, and hold. The 4th Corps, order, move, into the castle. 1st Corps, just hold your position as best you can, mate. But we get enough men to Waterloo, we can force the end of the game, but hopefully we'll be in good shape. And the good news is, it's not about killing the enemy. You've got to get into position and not lose too many men. And you can make the game fast by giving orders at the corps level, or you can go down to individual troops, so individual squares. So you go here, you go here, you go here, within the restrictions of core, what are they called? Core cohesion. Core cohesion is important. Because obviously Napoleon wouldn't be giving orders to individual platoons or regiments. More like, Ney, go and do this, and then Ney sorts it out. Kind of idea. So our first course is obviously pulling back because, yeah, you're outnumbered and outmanned. But here, they've gone, lads. They've gone. This is a lot more like it, isn't it? That's what you want for Napoleon. So the British right flank is vanishing. The British centre is gone. The Prussians are helping now. But it looks like the British are in retreat. Which is what we wanted. But the Prussians are trying to outflank us, which is cheating. They're not looking as a cocky, are they, the British? And P's for Prussians. Cross swords of cavalry. I reckon my first course was going to go. But I've driven back their second corps a little bit with heavy losses. So, okay. So between us and Waterloo is nothing. There's nothing between us and Waterloo. So I think we ought to go towards Waterloo. Then we can catch a train. Order. Move. Waterloo. And hold. Order. Move to here and hold. I want the second corps. Order. Move. Just go. Keep going. Pushing forwards. And the cavalry corps. Order. Move to this ridge and hold. And I think everyone else is pretty much dead, really, which is fine. They died for France. So I'm retreating here, trying to hold a line. But the cavalry are definitely advancing, which is what you want. Oh, we've lost one of the chateau by retreating like an idiot. I'll have to recapture it next turn. Light British casualties there. Oh, we've lost a cavalry unit against the British, which is cheating. So you see, they're not coming for me, they're coming for my supply. They're trying to cut me off. But I'm pushing forward towards Waterloo. Because Napoleon will be nervous about his supply lines, you see. If I can get 9,000 men near Waterloo, I trigger endgame. But they have the same, they have too many on the left-hand side, I think. tune at least. So we've driven that unit back. Of course, heavy British losses there. Light Prussian losses. Light French losses. Heavy Prussian losses. Right. Let's get sorted. Army orders. A. That's how these lads are. Very good. Very good. Excellent now. So this is the Imperial Guard. Right. You order. You occupy the chateau. The 6th. Order. Move. Waterloo. Yes. Cavalry. Order. Move. Get rid of you. And this guy. 4,500 men. Not you. Go get the chateau. See, it's quick. I want Drouot to occupy the little farm, please. That's the 6th Corps. If they're strong enough, I've triggered the end of the game and we'll see if we won or not. But done a lot better this time than last time. So Prussians, moderate casualties. So 2,000 dead Prussians, 3,500 dead Prussians. Oh, we've lost our main cavalry with heavy losses. British retreating some more. British fannying about. So the British are basically, the Prussians and the British there are going around my rear, as it were. So the red bits are forests, or woods. Dead Prussians versus 500 dead Frenchmen. They're fighting the Imperial Guard, you see, who got called them before, and they've routed. Army orders. Let's be a bit more aggressive with the Guard then. Right, you, the British cavalry are annoying me a bit because they're not dying. There's 1,500 men. I've got 3,500 men here. I'm going to attack them. The 6th Corps, 4,500 men, 6,500, 10,500 men. We're going for Waterloo. And over here, they're going for our rear. So the 2nd Corps are moving to attack the British. The 4th Corps, the Imperial Guard, attacking the Prussians. The 6th Corps advancing towards Waterloo. We've captured Waterloo, or Eau de Toilette as the French called it. So hopefully we'll beat the shit out of the Prussians. So the British cavalry are retreating and have gone. The Prussians are retreating and taken heavy casualties, 1,500 men. I think we're doing a lot better. A lot better indeed, folks. Because we're not all dead. This is a good thing, not having all your army being dead. I'm good at war. Again, another Prussian unit is gone. They're going to attack that heavy number 2. Yeah, I think it is generally a good thing. So I thought we'd have won by now, but obviously not. What does it say about winning? Or ending the game? $2,000 men, 6,500, 10,500. Yeah. Okay. Order, move, up a bit, and hold. So enough men to win, in theory. Yes, Pyrrhus definitely had victories, but he had heavy casualties. The letter U by the cavalry means they're under individual unit orders. So I get to move them separately from the other horses. And cavalry are, of course, faster than infantry. So the British number 2s are coming in to attack. Hopefully we can deal with them individually. Here he comes. Big number 2. The game ends and the British have too many units at the top left of the map. We have lots of units on the right of the map, as I think we already have, or number of casualties reaches a certain amount. If an army drops below a certain size, that's game over. So again, we lost another unit. Now that, my good friends, is a marginal French victory, which I shall take. We had slightly less dead and slightly less wounded. However, the road to Brussels is open. The road to Brussels is open, and the Prussians are not doing very well. So, I think I'm going to finalise my RZX, pop, and see who else is on the line to... Oh, I think it's lovely ZombiWorkshop is playing. So I'm going to send you my lovely viewers over to ZombiWorkshop. I'm back next week, same time with... What's the thing called? What's the word I'm after? You're welcome. For Battle of the Little Bighorn, which again I shall be in fancy dress for that. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. And remember, stay lucky. And pop. And pop. And we go here. And we go. And we pin. And we go